and another one being X. But sometimes both sperms can be X.
XX.
Yes.
They end up girls.
Yes. And sometimes it can be both Y. And so you have two boys as twins as well.
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Doctor.
Different from what we call identical twins. This type of twins are non-identical. They are not similar. Although they are of the same sex, they may be of the same sex. So we'll discuss that another time. But there are those twins which are identical, where the fertilization is like this. And instead of going to become one person, the person splits into two inside the womb before it takes the shape. And then you get identical twins.
They look alike.
They look alike. They share the genetic material 100%.
Meaning it was only one egg that was fertilized and it's split into two.
It's split into two.
Okay,
Yes.
that is very good.
Yes.
Kindly have a seat, Doctor.
Thank you.
Now let's go to this.
Yes.
So who is entirely responsible for the production
the
of
sex
a boy
and
or a girl?
Yes, this is a very, very important question, really, and people need to understand this because it brings in a lot of controversy. Because in our cultures, you find people are not understanding this. Now, it is the man who is responsible for determining whether the child is going to be a boy or the girl, because the man is the one who produces two different types of sperms. The one which carries X, another one which carries Y. And it's the man. So if his sperm, which carries a Y chromosome, is the one which is participating in fertilization, the child will be a boy. If the sperm is carrying an X chromosome, the X and Y are just names of those chromosomes. If the sperm is carrying an X chromosome, the child will be a girl. For the woman, she produces the same type of egg.
We only receive what we are given.
Yes, you receive what you are given.
Very good.
Exactly.
For all our, someone is saying that's why the children belong to men. That's very unfair, though. It's still medical
we will
minds.
Explain that.
Surely. It's still medical minds, and doctor is trying to explain to us exactly how the conception process takes place, how we end up with a boy or a girl. So, my dear fellow men outside there, you are entirely responsible for giving us the children. First, we just receive. We are like a factory. You bring whatever you have. No chituwa, ne tukuza, ne tuchikudiza. So it's always you entirely. So we should not blame mothers. Ono mchala nobe ndete gundi nakanjako ono gundi tatazala mwana mulenzi. It is you responsible for the sex of the child. Thank you so much, Doctor, for this clarification.
Thank
you.
How
can a man who does not have the ability, for example, there is a mother, there's a lady in our village, deep in the village, who gave birth to 8 girls, and she lost her marriage. The man was like, you're only giving birth to girls. You go. And then he married another woman.
Did he get boys?
She gave birth to 2 girls also, the girl. Yeah. So now, this is what I'm trying to ask. How can such a man be helped? Yes, how can such a man be helped to make sure they have, because in the African context, there's a way we value boys. If you have only girls, there's a way that family will always look for a boy. I don't know what is the logic behind with boys.
I think first of all, I think we need to change that perception because as we can see, women are taking up leadership.
True.
Women are doing great things.
True.
Many of our lives have been influenced by women.
True.
I have a lot of testimony about women influencing my own life.
True.
Yeah, so it's probably the cultural connotations from which we have been from, which is going to change. Now, such a man who is producing children of the same sex, for example, in this case, girls only, first of all, we as we had explained, he's the one responsible for determining the sex, yes. Which means most of his sperms, those which are more viable, are the ones which are carrying the X chromosome. Now, what is not clear is why in some people there's preference for one type of sperm. Most preference for Y's, most of them preference for X. But what we also know is that differences between between the sexes starts right from the differences between the sperms. We know from the characteristics and behaviors of these sperms that those sperms which are carrying the Y chromosome, they are slightly lighter, they move faster. So they are usually, when they are released together, they usually are ahead of time.
The Y that is likely to have a boy,
yes,
they are
move
always fast.
Yes, they move faster.
Okay.
They are lighter, but also they don't last for long.
Ah.
Yes, they don't survive for long. The ones for the ladies, for the girls, the ones which are carrying the X chromosome, they are slower, they lag behind, but they last longer.
Does that explain why women are more brave and strong and patient and more sacrificing?
You can't be quite certain about that. Maybe there's some genetic implications, but really, yes. So this is what we know. That's why you find in some situations when people meet, when a couple meet after ovulation, when they meet after ovulation, they are more likely to have a boy than a girl. This is not, it doesn't mean it will happen. It is a chance, yes. Because, for example, if the egg is already there and it is a target, and the sperms which are moving in front are the ones which are more boys, they are more likely to hit such an egg. That's
so, meaning, doctor, when these sperms are released,
yes,
before the egg is there,
yes,
the Y chromosome moves faster.
Yes.
But then it waits for the egg to come, and when the egg doesn't come, it fades out.
Yes, actually it doesn't even wait. It keeps on moving, and if it finds nothing, it fades off.
It fades off.
Oh, yes.
Unlike for the girls, the X, they take
slowly,
time. They move slowly until they get there.
Yes.
Oh, okay, they're slow but sure.
Yeah, so of course we need to, this explanation is with some bit of caution, because there are mechanisms within the tube which try to slow down the movement of the sperm, so that the sperms
What are some of those mechanisms, doctor?
For example, in the right from the cervix, right down from the cervix, okay, we have, if you could have a picture of a womb, maybe I could explain that. The uterus, a picture of the uterus. So right down from the cervix, there is some barrier. There are some spaces there, there's some mucus, and those trap the sperms a bit and filters some sperm. So there is some slight delay of the sperms there.
Are those mucus dangerous? They're not good?
They are not dangerous. They are
meant to be there.
They are meant to be there.
Okay.
They filter out. Yes, so right from here, this one has an ID, but it's okay. So around here, when the sperms enter, there's some mucus. It filters out sperms and delays the movement of the sperms. Now those sperms which are strong will move through. Now when it reaches here at this point, there's also some bit of delay, a bit. Yeah, so the sperms tend to be batched a bit, but yes, but more importantly, more delay is here, around here in the middle of the tube. There are some mechanisms which sort of hold the sperms so that they are not wasted. Yes, but in essence, you find at least the ones with carrying the Y chromosomes are usually slightly ahead. Yes, so there are those mechanisms. That's why you need to have some bit of caution that it is a probability. If you meet after ovulation, your chances are a little bit higher. But if you meet before ovulation, your chances are higher for a girl.
Thank you so much, doctor. Now let's talk exactly about that.
Yes.
Why is it that if you meet after ovulation or after periods, chances are high that you'll conceive a boy?
Yes.
What is the science behind there?
Of course, this is what we were explaining, that the sperm which carries the Y chromosome tends to move faster, but it stays for a shorter time. So imagine you have a target there, and you have two bullets moving towards there. One is moving slowly, another one is moving faster. The one which is moving faster will hit first. That is the one carrying the Y chromosome. Yes.
Okay.
Then the one behind, by the time it reaches there, the other one has already hit. And the egg is made such that once it receives one sperm, it blocks.
It blocks her.
Yes.
Okay.
It doesn't remarry.
Thank you. Thank you so much, doctor.
Yes.
Let's go into sex selection during IVF.
Yes.
How do you do that?
Yes. So in IVF, the sex selection, can I have the illustration for... Yes. So the IVF has a process. IVF is in vitro fertilization. Now, what happens in summary is that it's a form of treatment we offer for couples with infertility, where we remove the eggs of the woman out, get the man's sperms, and fertilize these eggs. After fertilization, we put the fertilized eggs into the woman's womb. So it's called in vitro fertilization because fertilization is happening outside. In vitro because it's most times glassware. So what happens is it's a normal IVF process, okay? You give some medication to grow the eggs because normally a woman is producing 1 egg every month. But in this case, you need more eggs, okay? So when the eggs are ready, you remove the eggs, okay? You remove the eggs when they are ready here. You remove them, okay? You remove the eggs. Now, once you remove the eggs, you fertilize them, okay? You fertilize the eggs. Now, once they are fertilized, they will be growing. They will be growing in the lab, okay?
Yes.
Now, when they reach a certain size of number of cells, we pick some of the cells. Before we put into the womb, that is IVF. In IVF, you're supposed to put them into the womb. But in this sex selection, we pick 1 or 2 cells and we test them. Because they look the same. Boys and girls look the same. That is when you're seeing it in the lab. Yes, you are seeing them. You pick 1, 2 cells and you have to test the genes. You look for those chromosomes and the genes. So you just you test to know? To know which one is a boy, which one is a girl. And then you put in the one you have selected, either a boy or a girl. So the sex selection process happens around here. The whole entire process is IVF. But you are doing sex selection by doing the gender assessment here. Okay. Yep. Thank you so much, Doctor. Yep. Yes, have a seat. It's still Medical Minds. With TV, we're talking about gender or sex selection in couples. And I think you've seen the illustration Doctor's been showing us. Just in case you are ready to be part of the show, please prepare your questions, prepare all your inquiries. So, it's still Medical Minds. Doctor, let's continue. We look at some sex positions that can help, that especially because of late, if you are, according to research, ladies are more than men. You realize more girls are born almost more than boys. Yes, are there some positions that can help a man to push this the Y chromosome faster, so they move faster? Yes, how? Because I want us to look at the weight after this, the weight of a man, especially because you realize that most men who are a little bit stout, I would love to use the word stout, not fat, men who are stout end up almost having girl child. I don't know if weight is also affecting us. We shall look at that. But for now, let's look at some positions that can help a couple who is watching there and they say, okay, I think we can try this. Yes, so this is a very interesting question, and I think you've asked a very big question. I think I need to do some splitting. Okay. First of all, I think it's right for you to say fat men, because there's a difference between being stout and being fat. Yes, because stout means you are tall, and maybe you are muscular. Yes, but fat is fat under the skin. Under the skin, and belly and all that thing is different, and it's not healthy at all. Okay. Yes. So So the issue is you're asking is whether certain positions of sex, to be specific, permits the couple to get certain gender of the babies. Yes. Unfortunately, no. We don't have scientific evidence to that effect. But the other question you're asking is why are there more women than men? Why? Yes, even you look at birth, more girls are born than boys, and in our population, men are almost half the number of the ladies. Why is it that? Why is that discrepancy? Nobody knows the exact reason, but there are some theories. There are some theories. Yes, there are some theories. Now, if you take at birth, there seems to be survival preference of one, the sperms, and two, the embryos after fertilizing. It looks like we are losing a lot of the embryos which were fertilized by the Y chromosome. Their survival seems not to be as good for reasons we are yet to understand. They seem to be more delicate and survival is a bit low. So this translates into a discrepancy in the ratios at birth. Initially, we were thinking that these are more of nutritional. Initially, we were thinking that there's no difference, but there seems to be difference. Yes, yes, there seems to be some difference. Even in the embryos we see in the lab, there seems to be differences. Yeah. So when we do IVF, there seems to be some bit of differences among the embryos as well. Yeah, so there has to be something which affects the survival, and it's maybe related to the gender at every stage. But even obviously, you see, women are more careful than men. Men take a lot of risk, so we do lose even more boys, more men, even in their later stages. There are some professions which, for a long time, they are confined to the men, and they are risky professions. Like profession, armed forces, you'll find more men there. Even right now, there are ladies there, but you find if you go into the real frontline activities, you'll find more men in the front line operating risky machines and stuff like that. So men, by design, they take more risk, and they are more likely to be lost earlier. The borders, you see, most of them are men. And then this is, so there has to be something which affects our survival. Yes. So
even if you look at the old age number age, in most cases it's women who live longer.
Yes, women live longer. That's true, because behavior, their bodies, actually biologically, women's bodies are more resilient.
I think it starts right from the chromosomes.
Very early on. So
we move slowly, but we are strategic.
Yes.
We are firm and sure for the goals.
Yes.
And then the boys come in slowly, and they end up earlier. We shall talk about that. We are going to have a very brief break, and when we come back, we shall continue with the discussion. Please stay with us.
Bethany TV for health. Attention everyone, the Ministry of Health has planned to vaccinate all persons aged 1 year to 60 years old to protect them against yellow fever disease. The mass vaccination will take place in 53 districts in these regions: Kampala, Buganda, Teso, Ankole and Karamoja. Vaccination is free and available at all government health facilities and outreach posts in these regions. The vaccination campaign will take place from April 2nd to April 8th, 2024. The vaccine is safe, effective and free.